Let's just say you want to get the DJI. What is the DJI going to cost you? If there were no tariffs, if there were no restrictions in USD, and I have to go to the Canadian version of the DJI website, by the way, because if you go to the US version, this doesn't pop up because they can't sell it here and all that type of stuff. So we're on the Canadian version of the DJI website. This camera is $619 USD, and this is just the standard combo. So that's a reasonable price. And if you want to factor in the fact that the Extra Muse 2 Pro, which was going to be basically the bootleg version of the white label version of this camera, was going to be even cheaper than the $619 USD price listed you see on the screen. Now, if we want to compare that to the Luna Ultra, the Luna Ultra is coming in. Now, again, this is the first gen product. When it comes to the 4P, the 4 means this is the 4th generation of the Osmo Pocket camera made by DJI, whereas the Luna Ultra, this is the 1st gen. So they're jumping out the window, and you're going to pay the price for jumping out the window and being a part of what they're trying to do. Let me move myself over here so you can see the price is better and the bundle's better. So if you want to jump into the standard bundle, this comes with no microphone, no extra battery, or no extra. Do you get a lens with this one at least? No, you don't even get a lens with this. So if you just want the camera on its own, it's $770. Now this is getting it straight from Insta360 Direct. So if you go to the DJI, where you also, I don't believe you get a mic with this, right? This is just the camera by itself. Yeah, the camera by itself. You do get a little pouch, but that's whatever. But you do get the fill light. So you want the Pocket 4P on its own, $620. Now, why can they charge less for just the camera on its own? Because DJI smartly is assuming you're probably already invested in DJI in some kind of way. You either have a Pocket 3, which I'm using, where's that camera at? I'm using that over here. This is the Osmo Pocket 3. Or you have one of the microphones. So for me, I have the DJI Mic 2s, and I have the Mic Mini around here somewhere. So I'm already invested in the DJI ecosystem. So they can charge less because they've already have gotten your money in some kind of way, shape, form already. So $620 USD, and then you have what you're looking at in regards to, when you look at the quality in terms of, you have the Pocket 4P, so you already have some mics already. You might even have some accessories from the Pocket 3 that is compatible with the Pocket 4P. So the battery grip on the Pocket 3 is directly compatible with the Osmo Pocket 4P. So you don't even have to buy a battery grip because you already got a battery grip from the Pocket 3. That's huge when it comes to cost savings, again, because you're already in the ecosystem. Whereas when it comes to, let me jump back on the screen. When you're jumping into the Insta360 ecosystem, you're paying $770 and you just get the standard bundle and not much else. You're not getting a mic, you're not getting a battery, you're not getting anything. If you want anything, then the price jumps up, and it jumps up quite a lot. If you want the creator bundle, which is the most popular bundle if you don't have anything in the Insta360 ecosystem, and I see the chat, I'll get to you in 1 second. If you're already in the Insta360 ecosystem, you're probably not going to go to this bundle, but most people likely are not in the ecosystem already. So if you want to jump in, you're paying $970. What do you get for that $970? You're getting a battery grip. You're getting the Mic Pro. So that's essentially their version of the DJI Mic 3. So you're getting their equivalent there. You're getting a wide angle lens. I don't necessarily care about a wide angle lens on these types of cameras. I think the 20 mil is wide enough, but some people really want that 15, 16 mil look. So they have the wide angle lens. And then you do have the case and all the other stuff. So to get a battery grip, to get a high level, their top tier microphone, you got to put out an extra $200. So that's one bundle. If you're going to go to the endurance bundle, which is more just about the battery, so if you just want to get the battery in addition to the kit, it goes from $770 to $880, but you're getting the battery and the soft case. So essentially two for the price of one, because if you try to get the battery on its own, it's $80. Try to get the battery on its own, it's $80. If you're trying to get the case on its own, it's $75. So for an extra $110, you're saving about $40. If you try to buy these two things individually, if you get the bundle, you save about 40 bucks, right? But again, this is assuming you're not in the ecosystem already. And again, one thing you have to take into account is this is now Insta360's flagship product. This is now the top of the top. This is the tree top. Whereas with the Pocket 4P, they still have drones, they still have the Ronins, they still have other segments of their product line that are more top tier, that are more high level than what you're getting in the Pocket 4P. The Pocket 4P is still very much a prosumer product as opposed to what you're looking at especially when you're looking at a Ronin and things like that. Whereas with Insta360, there's no 360 camera that is better than the Luna Ultra, especially when you factor in the fact that this is the first product they have that has 10-bit color space, 10-bit color science. Like, this is that. So this is the top of the top. With that, there's no accessories that can trickle down because they have revamped a lot of things just to get this product to where it sits, where it's now at the top of the treetop. So the fact that this camera is at the top, all of its accessories have to be purchased new. So again, you're in the ecosystem of DJI likely already. If you want to get into the Insta360 Luna Ultra and you want all the bells and whistles that come with it, it's roughly about a $9,000 to $1,000 investment. As opposed to the DJI, assuming you have some microphones already, assuming you have the battery grip from the Pocket 3 already, you're only in for $619. But again, if you're in the US, you're not paying $619. And this is where, as a consumer, you're stuck in the middle. As a consumer, if you're already in the DJI ecosystem, you're either gonna go to extreme lengths like traveling to Canada, traveling to Mexico, or buying it from eBay from China and paying that markup. You're either paying the markup in regards to the price it takes to travel to Canada or Mexico, or you're paying the markup in regards to going on eBay and paying $800, $900. I've even seen basic bundles for $1,000 for just the camera alone. So from $619, if there were no tariffs, if there were no restrictions, to almost $1,000 or more just to bring in the same product, just so you could stay within the ecosystem. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're damned if you try to leave the ecosystem of DJI and jump into the Insta360, because to get all the stuff that is worthwhile, you're paying $800, $900, $1,000. Whereas if you want to stay in the DJI ecosystem, it may cost $619, but because of where you live, you're going to pay $800, $900, $1,000 just to stay in the ecosystem. So then what's the difference? And that's kind of why I think the United States, if you're a creator, there is a pocket camera problem. Because you're either spending $1,000 in a new ecosystem, or you're spending $1,000 to stay within the ecosystem. But we want, I know for me, I can speak to it, especially as someone that has used the Pocket 3. I want a dual lens. I wanted a more telephoto look. And I think this was a really great innovation by both DJI and Insta360 to make a dual lens pocket gimbal camera. But the fact of the matter is that I would like to not have to get microphones and equipment that I don't need. Like, I got the bundle from Costco, right? Let's look at the bundle from Costco. All right, let me go on this side now. Got the bundle from Costco. So for the same price as a standard camera, so if you get the camera on its own, right? Again, nothing with it, $770. You see it here on Amazon. It's the same on B&H. You see it. If you go to Costco, though, for that $770, you get 3 things for the same price. You get 3 additional items that are not available on any other combo or bundle for the same price. You get a microphone. Now, it's not the top tier microphone. You get the, I guess, the DJI Mic Mini of what Insta360 is putting out, you get that. So you get the Insta360 Mic Air, you get a Pro Mist filter, and you get the soft case. So let's break down the value. This mic on its own is $50. This mist filter is $40. And this soft case, like I said earlier, is $75. That's a lot of value, almost $200, so close to $200 worth of value just for being a Costco member. But again, if I'm in the DJI ecosystem, I don't necessarily need this mic, especially when the standout feature of this camera is the fact that I could remove the screen and use the screen as a mic. So I don't necessarily need that microphone. Now the mist filter, I think that's clutch. I think that's good value. And the case, I mean, I'm not that big on the case because I have other tech bags that I use to carry my tech around, but it's a nice thing to have, especially when we look at the fact that they're charged $75 for it on its own. But the main thing for me is at least you get a mist filter. To me, I'm ignoring the mic, I'm ignoring the case, I get a mist filter for free. So I'm paying the same price and I get a filter that I was gonna pay for on its own anyway. Dope. But again, if you already have a Mic Mini, or if you have a DJI Mic 2 or a Mic 3, can you use it with this? Yes, it takes some workarounds, but you can. It's not great, but you can. It's not seamless like this or the Mic Pro. But it's just, again, they're making you do a lot of, we're stuck in the middle. As creators, that to me is the main thing, is that we are stuck in the middle to where, taking into account that you're likely, more than likely, if you're fresh out the box and you got nothing, you don't have anything DJI or anything Insta360, you're in a good spot. However, though, if you're in this creator space, you're likely to have at least some DJI products somewhere. A microphone, a Pocket 3, whatever. What do you do? What do you do? I'll hit the chat. Hello and greetings from Germany. What's up? Salute to Germany. In Germany, everything is available. And that's kind of the issue, right? Like here in the US, you know, if we had the thing of choice, if we had the decision of choice, I think I would probably go with the Pocket 4P. Based off what I've seen, even though the screen is really cool idea, it's really dope innovation, I would be more inclined to go with the Pocket 4P just because I have all the accessories already. I'm in the ecosystem. I'm invested already. Insta360 did a really good job with a first gen product, but when I'm navigating the dues of like, what do I want to spend? Do I want to spend $620 if it was available here in the US? Do I want to pay $620 and stay within the ecosystem I'm already in, where I have a extended battery grip on my Pocket 3 that can fit the Pocket 4P, where I already have microphones that can sync up with the Pocket 4P? Or do I want to jump into a whole new thing with Insta360, microphones and everything, just because the screen is removable? Is that worth $150? Because that's the jump. To go from $620 to $770, is it worth $150 to have the removable screen? When on the DJI, I can always use the Mimo app, or now they have the little bootleg Insta360 version of what they think is a screen, a remote or whatever. They have that. So they got that as a throw-in. I would still probably go with the Pocket 4P, especially when you look at the reviews and look at the footage is slightly better. And if you're a image quality snob, which I think I am at times, and I'm trying to work my way out of it, but I would prefer that quality, especially when I already have stuff that can work with the camera right away. Back in the chat, have you had any issues with the battery drain drop on a Luna? Oh yes, and I did a video on this channel about it. Because I put the latest firmware, or now it's the next to last updated firmware. So I had the 183 firmware. I think that was the last three numbers. .183 firmware, which was supposed to fix the battery drain, right? And for the first couple of days, I didn't notice any difference whatsoever. Then after I guess a couple of power cycles with me, charging it up and stuff like using it and running the battery down, I finally saw a little bit of a difference. But here's the real problem. And this is something I want to speak to. Now that the battery drain from the remote is fixed, it's now spread to the camera. So now that they can't figure out the battery chemistry. I think the camera, the battery drain from the remote was excessive. So to fix that, they found a way to get the battery chemistry to where it's lessened on the remote, but at the expense of the camera itself. So now while the battery is better on the remote, it's now significantly worse on the camera. And again, we're talking about a first gen product, right? So a first gen product, I get it. There's going to be some issues, going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be a ton of firmwares. And the more overarching part is that this product was nowhere close to being finished when it was released. This product was maybe about 60% done when they released it. And that's kind of the spot we're in, where with tech, the gift and the curse of firmwares is, well, companies feel like they could just release it half-assed and a firmware is going to fix everything instead of just giving us the product at 90% done, and then you might have a couple of small firmwares to get you over the line to 100%. We're now at the point where we're getting products that are, and DJI is not absolved here either, but especially with this Luna Ultra, you're looking at this product was probably 60 to 65% done. And it's taken a lot of firmwares just to get it to where I feel like it might be now 80 to 85%. There's still some things that got to figure out, and battery drain is chief among them. So yes, the battery drain on the remote has improved, but at the expense of the camera body itself. So that goes into the whole point of the bundle. So now I was thinking, because the Costco bundle that I showed on the screen, it doesn't come with the extended battery grip. Now, I feel like with the way that the battery chemistry is right now, you need the extended battery grip to keep the battery charged to now keep up with the battery of the remote. And again, that's why it's like it's unnerving, because you're trying to rock with the product because the removable screen is so cool, but then it's like, yeah, but at what expense? I like the Leica film sims. I like those a lot, especially as someone that I don't care to color grade. I know how to do it. I just rather use my time in post-production doing other things. So the fact that I can bake in those film sims on iLog, I think it's clutch as hell. But again, am I going to withstand all the issues with the battery just because I get Leica film sims on iLog? I don't know. So yes, the battery, I have had battery issues, and the 183 firmware did resolve it eventually. However, I think the battery chemistry has not been figured out, and I think that battery drain has now been passed back to the camera instead of the remote. So now you need the extended battery grip, which is only available in packages that are going to packages and bundles that are going to cost you upwards of $850 to $1,000. I've had both since I returned my Luna using the Pocket 4P. Gotta say, I missed the Luna Ultra. Oh, really? So what about the Luna Ultra? Is it just the remote? Is it the film sims? I think the quality, the high resolution, even though eventually the Pocket 4P will get to do 4K 240 at some point in the firmware, like next year, which I think, again, that's half-assed. Don't announce a feature that won't be available a year from now. Like, why am I going to buy this camera now for something that you won't give me until a year from now? But yeah, but what is it about the Luna Ultra that you miss? You had DJI all the recent years, but now we're switching into Insta360, facing some battery issues, and returned it. Pocket 4P is not really more stable related to the battery management. That's interesting, because where is the battery drain going? I know because these cameras are heavier because of the two lenses, the gimbal motor has to be stronger, right? So the battery has to power the gimbal. And that's something like, these cameras are not pocketable. This is not a pocketable camera. Like, I know they're in the genre of pocket cameras, but this is not a pocketable camera. Like this camera needs, you got to put this in a sleeve or in a case or in something. Like you have this in your pocket, like you're going to feel it. And it's significantly heavier than the one lens options, right? So your Pocket 3, your Pocket 4, things of that nature. Even the extra Muse stuff that you can buy if you're still here in the US, not the new extra Muse stuff, but the old extra Muse. Like it's significantly lighter. So there's a weight difference. So with that weight difference, especially with these two lenses, the gimbal motor has to be stronger. So now the battery, which I don't think was greatly increased despite the fact that there's a lot more going on, that now has to power the gimbal motors and power them more to handle the fact that there's now two lenses on this instead of one. So that's strange. I can see why the battery drain will be crazy on the Luna Ultra because it has to power so many different things, right? And then when you reconnect this, it has to now recharge this. So I can understand on the surface why the battery would be an issue with the Luna Ultra as opposed to the 4P. The 4P, nothing is removable. So what is it powering that would be such a drain outside of the gimbal? That's really troubling. But the sound of the Mic Pro is definitely better than the DJI ones in my opinion. Fuller, richer sound, and much more features for using it. That's interesting. See, again, I got the bundle from Costco, which does not offer the Mic Pro. It has the Mic Air. I'm not a fan of the Mic Air. It doesn't sound bad. I just don't, it doesn't make me want to use it as opposed to the Mic Mini or anything like that, or my Mic 2s or anything like that. So maybe the Mic Pro will be a difference maker for some if you don't have a mic already. Like if that's supposed to be their version of the DJI Mic 3, if you're choosing between those two, then maybe that's a thing. The onboard mic on the Luna with the windshield is better than on the Pocket 4P. Okay, so the internal mic. So you mean this piece over here? This piece over here, the internal mic. I think that's I'm here for that. I think the thing with the Pocket 4P is, I don't know how many people are going to be using the internal mic when you're more than likely going to have one of their wireless lobs already. Like, I have no reason to use the internal mic on this. I'm always going to be using the remote. I guess in a jam I could, but I don't see too many other scenarios, because when I'm using this with something specific in mind. It's not necessarily a run and gun instrument for me. It's more of I'm setting up a shot, I'm doing some talking head, I'm doing some B-roll, I'm doing something with a thought already in mind. Like when I'm doing B-roll, I'm going into the slow-mo mode, which doesn't record your audio anyway. I'm gonna worry about that. When I'm doing talking head, and I'm using the remote. So I don't gotta worry about internal mic or the internal audio capabilities that way either. But in the latest 183 update, and there's since been a 188, but the 188 doesn't really give you a lot of details in terms of what that firmware did or has done to update the camera. But the 183 allegedly made the remote audio better. It doesn't clip as much in my workings already. It doesn't clip as much. And the wind reduction seems to be a little bit better naturally. It's not like artificially. I mean, I'm sure it is on the internals, but it doesn't sound as if it's artificially done. But the audio is supposed to be better. I didn't notice that much of a difference, but I did notice a little bit in terms of a little bit of clipping reduction and a little bit better with the wind reduction. The remote on the Luna is great. The Sims are great. Using the Mic Pro impressed me. The zoom, the face priority exposure is not available on the Pocket 4P. Well, here's something I noticed when I did a couple of talking head videos in this same setup. The face priority on the exposure was actually something I turned off because, like, as you see, when I talk, I emote, I move around, and for whatever reason, when I moved around, it caused the exposure to go crazy. Like, I have a video here on this channel talking about that and showing it. I had to speed it up like 4 times, like 4x, for you to like see it clearly. But when I was editing the footage, I saw it right away. I'm like, why is the exposing shifting? And I tracked it back to every time I moved, the lights would move because they're trying to always face priority expose my face, which would then alter the background. And this is controlled lighting, and that should not be doing that. So someone in the comments of the video said, hey, maybe take off face priority and turn on, metrics, and try that. And I did, and it was significantly better. So now I'm like, I got to pick and choose when I use face priority or when I use matrix. If I'm indoors, locked off controlled lighting, I use matrix or whatever. If I'm outdoors moving around, whatever, I'll still use face priority because I'm more willing to accept that type of movement because I'm usually outside moving around. But if I'm in a locked off shot with controlled lighting, there should be no shifting going crazy with the auto exposure. So I like face priority, but for me, I only use it when I'm outdoors. Hello from India. What's up? I had the mic 1, the mic 2, the mini, the mic 3. Already was very impressed by the mic Pro. You need to test it. I mean, look, I'm not going to buy it on its own because how much is that on its own? Let's see. If you want it on its own, it's $100. Yeah, I don't know if I'm paying $100. And $200 if I want the receiver. So the fact that I got the bundle that has the mic Air and not the mic Pro, maybe that is a detriment. But isn't it also significantly larger? Like it's not a discrete microphone, which kind of defeats the point because I've seen some videos with people using it, especially with the wind muff or the dead cat, and it looks kind of crazy, to be quite honest. It looks more akin to the size of, well, I can ask you in the chat, like, is it as big as the mic 2? Is it as big as this? Because this is very noticeable when you wear it outside. And from the videos I've seen, it looks as though the mic Pro is the same, where it's very noticeable if you're wearing it. The wind reduction on the internal mic on the Luna is great. DJI products are banned in India. Interesting. So it's not just the US. That's interesting. Okay, so you're stuck like me with just the Insta360 Luna Ultra. And I use stuck in a way, but it's not stuck per se, but I would love to have the option. And I think that's where, as the consumer, we should be allowed to have the option. Now, stuff is, like, I would like to know what's the reason why it's banned in India. Is it similar to why it is here in the US? That's interesting. I was not aware of that. I just thought only people in the US were the ones suffering with the DJI being banned nonsense. But now that I know India, that's also another big market. So imagine if you're DJI and you're at the top of the top when it comes to this product line and this technology, and you're one of the, no, let's be real. They are the leaders in the pocket gimbal camera space because they were the only ones doing it. Now they have some competition and they want to combat that competition, but now they're banned in several locations. India is a huge marketplace. The US is a huge marketplace. And those are two places where your product is not available for whatever reason. And that's why the Insta360 is going to do numbers. The Luna Ultra is going to do numbers because, one, it's available. I'm seeing a lot of creators from the US that are, getting into the space and doing reviews on it that are not your normal big time 100K subscriber type creators because the camera's available. While those big time creators were under NDA and couldn't talk about it, other people like me and others were able to just jump out there, buy the camera and start talking about it right away because they're not under NDA. And that helps spur a lot of sales for other people here in the US to be aware of, hey, the DJI is not available, but look at this over here. Here's the Luna Ultra. It has a removable screen. It's got Leica color science. It's got some film sims. It can get you 85 to 90% of the way like a Pocket 4P would. Check this out. But it's going to come at a higher cost. You're going to buy a lot of accessories. You got to get a bundle. Like it's a more expensive entry, but you get the end result, which is you get a dual lens pocket gimbal camera. And it really is really good, clean footage. Like I have enjoyed using the camera, but I can't deny the fact that knowing that the Pocket 4P exists and at a lower price point with the accessories I could easily integrate, it does have me, like the thumbnail, looking over my shoulder like, I like the Luna Ultra, but that DJI thing, I'm kind of curious. The mic Pro is a little bit larger, but you can use it as a shotgun mic as well, recording from 3 different directions. Awesome mic. Okay, that's dope. So that's probably how I would use it. And I know there's a clip here on the protective case where you can probably clip that in and do the whole reporter thing if you want, or I'm sure, let me see, can I go get that? Yep, let's go get that real quick. You can use one of these. You can use one of these, right? So like I use this for my mic 2, my DJI mic 2, like a reporter handle, comes with the Will Wind muff. Or you can even use this, same deal. I use this for the mic mini. It's janky, it's 3D printed, it's not great, but it does the job where I could get my mic mini on there and now you can have a imitation Shure SM58 mock-up that was 3D printed. So like, I don't mind using the reporter mic piece of it. That would probably be the way I would do it. But to get it with the bundle, let's go back to the bundles. To get it with that bundle, I'm now paying how much? To get that mic Pro and the battery grip, which I think is mandatory now that I've had the Luna for almost a month, you're paying $1,000 to get the mic and the battery grip. That's a big investment. That's a big investment, especially when you already have DJI stuff. If you can afford it, then by all means, have a blast. Salute, enjoy. But there's a lot of people that are broke. There's a lot of people that are breaking into this creator space, trying to figure it out, I need one camera to start. I'm going to elevate from using my cell phone. I want to know, I'm going to take that next step with my content creator journey. What's the thing? They're not going to be able to buy both the Pocket 4P and the Luna Ultra if they're living in a place where both are available. They're going to have to navigate one. And if you're navigating one and you're jumping into a space, coming out with $1,000 for a product that is still not finished, as opposed to the DJI, which they still are withholding some stuff in terms of features for next year, but they're way closer to being a finished, polished product than the Luna Ultra. So if you are a creator trying to navigate the space, I still say go with the Pocket 4P if it's available. If it's not available, then you really got to save your bread up. You got to save your money up and navigate which bundle is more important. Because to get everything, it's $1,000+. At least here in the US. To get everything is $1,000+. If you just want the battery on its own with the camera and you get the case, you're paying $880. And then if you want the vlog, which is you get the less superior microphone, so you get the Mic Air, you get the wide angle lens, you don't get the battery, that's $890. So that's kind of why, for me, I did the Costco deal, because at least I get the mist filter that I would have paid for anyway. I don't care too much for the microphone, and I don't care for the case either, but at least I get the mist filter, and I'm not paying anything more than their standard regular price. In India, we have the audio camera products, which are important with a heavy tax. See, they're going to find a way to get you. They're going to find a way to get you. Drone products are banned for security reasons. Got it. Okay, so at least you can get the camera. So then wait. So then you can get the 4P, it's just with a crazy tax? See, I would almost, how much tax would I be willing to pay here in the US? If it's $619 here in the US, if you go on eBay, you're paying $300 minimum, $200 to $300 more. Would I pay $100 more in taxes? Would I pay $150 more in taxes to get it available here in the US? It's a tough choice. The answer is probably yes. Probably yes. So you're paying $300 to $400 to get it on eBay, or you have to travel outside the country to get it in. But if you're telling me it's $619 and an extra $100 in tax on top of the normal tax, you might get me. It would have to keep it under $800 for me to consider it, because if I'm paying $770, which ends up being over $800 for the Luna, right? You got to keep this under $800 with the taxes. And the real secret sauce for me was going to be, okay, this is not available in the US. We know DJI has some shell companies, and the extra product was going to be released. It was an early bird. There was an early bird deal that they were setting up with people. They were going to have 10,000 early bird deals for that unit. And it was allegedly going to be almost $100 less than what the DJI was being offered at. So you're talking about $620. The extra Muse was going to be in that $550, $560 range. Now, if you're telling me now the product is $560, and then you hit me with a heavy tax to bring it up to like $7, but again, because it's an extra product that is masquerading as DJI, allegedly, I get to use all my DJI accessories even with that product. Now you're bringing the price point even lower. And I think, to me, when the quality difference is, well, I think the DJI is better. So you get in a cheaper camera that has, in my opinion, better quality, and I already have all the accessories that work with it. The choices were there. Put the choice in the hands of the consumer instead of, forcing us to either just buy this Luna Ultra or pay over the moon to import something that is banned. After sales support is nil. Yep, I would imagine that. The way content creators get it is by buying it for personal use from Dubai, Japan, or Vietnam. Interesting. So that's kind of what I would have to do here. I would have to go to Canada or Mexico, commute there. So wait, are you able to buy it so they don't have to travel to those places? They could just buy it online from the Japan DJI or the Dubai DJI or Vietnam? Like, you can still buy it online? Because that's something that's blocked for us here. I guess I can't even do a VPN. I can't even do a VPN to do a Canada purchase. Because the minute it is shipped to the US, it's going to get blocked. Or I guess the main thing is that they can't sell it in America. It could be shipped into America. So I should be able to order it from Canada and have it shipped to the US. Should, but I've seen creators say that even that is blocked. $44% tax on DJI products in India. Good Lord. That is insane. Yeah, that's too heavy of a tax. That's damn near double. Yeah, can't do it. Can't do it. So let's take it, for instance, if we want to do that in the US, this product is $620. Half that $620 is what, $310? That'll be almost $300 worth of tax. Nah, can't do that. That's a $900 product, which again puts you back to the price you would pay. That's the price you're paying on eBay. And therein lies the conundrum of being a creator where these products are not available because of tariffs or taxation or whatever the case. That is really, really a problem. Because if I'm paying $620, you're going to charge me almost $300 just in tax. I might as well just go ahead and invest in the Insta360 ecosystem. And that's kind of where we keep coming back to. Like, there's no real clear answer. There's no real clear path. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're paying $1,000 either way. You're paying $1,000 to jump into a whole new ecosystem, or you're paying $1,000 to remain in one that you already are existing in. Hence why the creators are the ones that are getting screwed out of this. The companies are going to make their money. Everyone else is going to be fine, but the people that are stuck in the middle are always the consumers. Customs will block it. Someone has to get it for you. Got it. Okay, so now, see again, so now you're smuggling in, like, you see how crazy that is for a camera? For a camera, you're smuggling in cameras from Vietnam, Dubai. Like, that's insane that we are at that point just to get a product that we want to use to have fun with, that we want to make content with, that we want to use to create memories with our families and friends. You have to import it like you're smuggling in drugs. Insane. That is crazy. Thank you for that information. Check out SJ Cam. Is that a competitor to DJI and Insta360? Ain't this like is it just like extra? Is this ain't available, right? I see they got the creators already on it. What's this dual? Is this a dual lens action camera? What is this? The cameras. So they don't have a gimbal camera, it appears. But is this a dual lens action camera? That could be kind of dope. This SJ30. That's really cheap. And it seems to be available here in the US. Let's see. 8K dual day and night lenses. So it's not a telephoto. 48 megapixel photos, flip touchscreen. That's cool. I'm telling you, if they could just take whatever the Extra Muse 2 Pro was going to look like and just replicate that, I would buy that instantaneously. Oh, what's this? The C300 or the C400? Is this what you were? Let's see. What's this? One lens though, right? 3-in-1 handheld. It's got to be dual lens for me. Because now that I have the Luna Ultra with the dual lens, I see the vision, I see the science, I'm here for it. This is definitely significantly cheaper than anything that we've been talking about today. I just don't know. I don't see a dual lens option. I've become a snob now. I can't go back. I can't go back to a single lens pocket camera. Once you have 2 lenses, it's hard to go back to 1. Because the 3X on both appears, I don't know if it's a true 60 millimeter. I guess, Germany, if you're still in here, is the 60 mil, do you feel the 60 mil on both cameras is a true 60 mil? Because I've seen some pushback on the fact that those cameras are not actually, those lenses are not actually 60 millimeter, more of a 45, 50 mil equivalent, which is not a problem. But, you know, we feel as though the 1X is a true 20 mil. If you're going to say something is 3X, it should be a 60 mil. If it's a 3X, then say it is. If it's more of a 2.5 or a 2, then say that too. Like, don't gas us up. Don't lie to us and say it's a 60 mil when it's more of a 45. Yeah, it's there too. Break the duopoly. The duopoly. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing the pocket one. Which one's the pocket one? Which one's the dual lens one? Is it this 100 Pro? This looked like a nano. This looked like a nano. That's not it. Yeah, which model is the one that's supposed to be the I guess this one, the SJ20 dual lens? Okay. Dual lenses. But this ain't that though. This ain't a telephoto. It's a dual lens. 1.3 aperture. That's cool. But that's just for night. I think night mode on these cameras is extremely overrated. So dual screen, dual lenses, but it's not a telephoto lens. That would be a drawback. I need a wide and a tight. Because the 3X, for it, even if it ain't a true 3X, we'll still call it a 3X. Having that 3X for B-roll is essential. The 20 mil can do B-roll fine, like the 4K 120, it's fine on the Luna Ultra. But when you get that 3X on the 4K 120, and even the 1080p 240, even the 1080p 240 is good enough. Obviously not 4K and stuff like that, but I don't know. That one's tough. The Akaso. Let's see. Ah, this is like an Insta 360. Okay. What else we got? Action cam, night vision. Okay. So, I mean, you know, I guess there are options. My thing would be, I don't see any that can battle the dual lens with the telephoto. I don't see anything with that. But in terms of other types of cameras, like action cameras, like it's like this has a dual half-inch sensor. That's kind of dope. AI tracking. It's got all the stuff. I need one of these companies to put out a 4P or a Luna Ultra bootleg. Give me a bootleg 4P, a bootleg Luna Ultra, and I'll be talking. I will be more willing to jump in and buy something that I can actually get in the US without being taxed crazily. Like this is $100, $110. It's crazy. Now the quality and all that's a different story for a different day. I'm sure they're going to tell me it looks the part and that it can compete. Whether it actually does is a whole different conversation. But when you're looking at, you know, again, 620 USD, if I were to fly to Canada, I could pick this up for 620 and come right back. The problem is going to Canada comes at a cost, whether I drive there or fly there. I could go to Mexico, buy it there, same thing. There's a cost in terms of driving there or flying there that's going to cancel out whatever money I'm saving by only having to pay $619 for the product on its own. So then you're back to, well, then just buy what you can buy without being taxed heavily for $770 with the Luna Ultra, which can give you 2 lenses with the telephoto. You have the remote that can be removed from the device that you can monitor, can frame up yourself, and use as a microphone. And then if you're like me, you go get the Costco bundle and you get a microphone and a mist filter along with a carrying case, all for the same price. Or if you're willing to pay more, you can go get the creator bundle and get all the best of the best. So all the best stuff, all the flagship stuff that Insta360 has to offer, you're paying $1,000. You get the battery grip, you get the Mic Pro, and you get a wide angle lens. For me, I would love if they had an option with this bundle to take out the wide angle lens and give me the mist filter. I would rather have that than the wide angle. But that's not an option. To get that, you would have to go over to, no, I see that on B&H. B&H has a couple of bundles as well. All right, so if you want the bundle that I would personally build, it's coming soon, and I think it might be, is this a Essential? Essential's not on here. So this might be a B&H exclusive, $965. You get the mist filter and the battery and the case for $965. That's very expensive. Again, you're looking at a over $1,000. I mean, if you do B&H, they have a credit card that saves you on the sales tax. So at least from that standpoint, you're only paying the $964.96. But if you don't have that card, you're paying sales tax. That's going to push it over $1,000. So $1,000 whether you stay in the ecosystem or $1,000 whether you leave it. If you want a dual lens pocket camera that has a telephoto, you're paying $1,000. Unless you're fortunate enough to live in a place where you could buy the DJI Pocket 4P. And this is why US creators, and now I'm learning India creators, are kind of stuck in the middle. Another brand is Fimi by Xiaomi. Oh, Xiaomi's got some ones? All right, let me come off the screen and look that up. Xiaomi. F-I-M-I. Let's see. Drone cameras. All right, let's see what we got here. Camera. Here we go. All right. Single lens. See, this is where I think if I'm Fimi, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. I'd never heard of it until just now. They should be rushing to put out a clone of the Luna Ultra and a clone of the Pocket 4P. Whatever this is, just put another lens on here. Put another lens on here and put it out. They have a Sony 1/2-inch sensor, so it's not a 1-inch sensor. That could be a problem. That could be a problem. You got to have at least a 1-inch sensor, because now you're making it less quality. What's this 32? I thought it said 32-bit float. Like, it looks the part, but they need to come out with an update. Like that's how you capitalize on the market. You see that there are people in other parts of the world that are being banned from having access to a product, if you have the engineering capabilities, you should be trying to replicate that ASAP. Like, this is a smaller sensor. It can do 4K 30. Like, that's not going to cut it. Unfortunately, that's not going to cut it. You're going to have to give people at least 1080p 120 if you're trying to compete. That's still not great, but you have to at least be in that territory. Just to be in the conversation. I like the fact it has a mic jack. Like, to see here's the problem. Like, because there's little to no competition, because Insta360 and DJI are considered to be far and away the only ones in this space. This, if they pulled up with this and they had a mic jack, to a lot of people, that would be big. There are a lot of creators that don't care for wireless lavs, wireless audio, Bluetooth audio, essentially. They don't care for it. They want their lavs. They want their 3.5 millimeter mic jack. The fact that this has that could be a difference for a lot of people. Again, assuming price and availability. But because there's little to no competition, it's tough. Quarter 20 thread on the bottom, mic audio jack. That right there would sway some people. And let me come on this side so I can see it actually. Thought y'all could see it. This mic jack, that would sway some creators. But the fact that it's not a 1-inch sensor, that's a drawback. The fact that it doesn't have high speed with resolutions, that's a drawback. But again, the fact that it's an option, but they need to come out. Xiaomi knows. If this is the alleged Xiaomi Ghost product or Ghost line or white label line, then they know better. They know that they need to put something out that resembles a Luna Ultra or a Pocket 4P. Face detection. It's like, it has all the stuff. 3-axis gimbal, 120-degree wide-angle lens, multiple shooting modes, face detection, and smart track. Like, it has all the stuff, but the 4K 30, that would be a drawback for people. And the fact that it's a 1/2-inch sensor, that would be a drawback for people. But I like where it's going. They just need to be able to keep up. Yeah, the Extra Muse I'm aware of. The Extra Muse they really had a chance. I think the Extra Muse was going to be something that was going to really shake things up. Extra Muse, like, you could get a Pocket 3, a bootleg Pocket 3 if you want. Although the price of the Pocket 3 with the Pocket 4 and the 4P being announced, the Pocket 3 has dropped. The price of that has dropped. So I don't know if the Extra Muse value proposition is the same anymore. But when the Pocket 3 was like $600, and if you remember last year, when the tariffs were first announced, that price jumped up to about $900 just for the camera alone. No mic, no creator combo. Just for the camera by itself was $900. Now you can get that for about this same price. But you see, they don't even mention the 2 Pro. The 2 Pro was here on this product line. Let me move myself back over. The 2 Pro was right over here. The Muse 2 Pro was at the top. The Muse 2, which is going to be the bootleg Pocket 4, and the Muse 2 Pro, which was going to be the bootleg 4P. That was there. They didn't have a price yet, but they had the early bird specials. And from the people that claimed to be in the know, the price was going to be even cheaper than the DJI Pocket 4P. So if the Pocket 4P, we've learned, is $620 US, you can guarantee that that Extra Muse was going to be in the mid 500 range, which would have been an amazing deal. Amazing deal. but we can't get it. Now, tariffs can change. I don't necessarily know if there's a regime change, if that how fast that would happen. I don't know. I can't speak to that, but at some point, I would feel DJI is going to be allowed back in the US. To what degree, at what taxation to the consumer, I have no idea. Again, we're stuck in the middle, and we'll probably be the ones that have to pay. But I don't think this is forever. I think at some point it will come to the US. India might be a different story, but in the US, I feel as though it's more political as opposed to privacy concerns or anything like that. Because, I mean, Insta360 is a Chinese company as well. But what was the other one? Fiyu Tech. All right, let me look up that one. If they have a dual lens option, then that might be a consideration. That to me is a non-starter. If you don't have a dual lens option, all right, waiting on the website. Here we go. Gimbal camera. All right, here we go. Wow, they're just calling it straight up a Pocket 3. So here's their Pocket 3. Where's their Pocket 4? See, here's what I'm saying. You have a Pocket 3. You clearly have been leveraging, oh, wow, this is a webcam. This is like a tail, a Osbot camera on a gimbal. This is interesting. I don't know if I like it, but it's interesting. So you're putting a tail Air or a tail 2. Yes, see, you could use it as a interesting. So you're getting a webcam and putting it on top of a gimbal remote. Is that what I'm looking at here? Is that the tech? It's a Pocket. Let me move myself so I can read along together. I'm assuming this is Fiyu Pocket 3 is a portable gimbal camera which you can operate remotely. The gimbal camera only can achieve all the filming function. Wait, what? The gimbal camera only can achieve all the filming functions needs without the optional remote control handle. That's a very long sentence. There's not a lot of grammar here. All right. All right, let's just stop reading that and see if we can just figure this out. All right, so the fact that the camera itself detaches, so we have the Luna Ultra, which the screen can detach. In this one, we have a camera that can detach. Interesting. Can we play this video? Let me turn down, I want no copyright. Okay, so that does that. Then that, oh, I control it? Okay. Okay, that's the functionality. My thing is, where's the dual camera option? Where's the dual lens option? If all your products are essentially, variations of DJI Osmo Pockets, then where is the Pocket 4 and the 4P? Again, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity for all these offshoot brands to make a big splash if they seize on this moment. There are multiple big markets. India is a huge marketplace. The US is a huge marketplace. The fact that either in India, you're getting taxed at 44%, we learned today, or I learned today. Taxed at 44%. If they come out, if the Fayus or the Fimis and all these other ones come out with their own version of this, of the 4P or the Luna Ultra, then now that changes the conversation, because now you're not stuck where you're spending, if you're in the US, you're spending $1,000 regardless, whether it's Insta360 or DJI. You have an option of, hey, wait a minute, there is other options out here that are significantly cheaper, could even be cooler because the camera is removable in this piece. So yeah, so it's like you're taking a webcam and making your webcam your action cam slash pocket gimbal cam. That's cool. So you take a Tail 2, a Osbot webcam, and you can slap it on a tripod like you see right here, or you can attach it to this module and make it a pocket camera. Sorry, no dual lens yet. No, it's all good. I mean, this is just information. I'm appreciative, but it also just shows like these companies, these types of companies need to step up and seize on this market. Seize on this market. Because clearly they're willing to copy and paste other devices in these product lines. Why aren't they copying, pasting the Luna Ultra or the Pocket 4P? Because that to me is how you change the game. That's how you jump in and become a competitor in this space. By taking a product that people want and want badly. Clearly you're doing it with other lines. Like this is a clone of the Insta360, what, the Go? Like, so they have the capabilities. It's just, where is it? And it has United States here in the upper right. I can buy this. I can buy this and have it shipped to me. This, for whatever reason, is not banned. How? I don't know. But the fact that if they had something that had a dual lens with a telephoto, I could just buy it, as opposed to the Pocket 4P where I'm trooping it across the border. Interesting. It's an interesting time that we're in. All right, how long have we been going? We've been going for a little bit here. I didn't think I was going to go this long. But I go by the name of The Sam D. This has been Shield Free Tech. If you've enjoyed this content, go ahead and hit the like button. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so. We're trying to grow something here where we can get together as creators, whether you're a prosumer, a hobbyist, or someone that is in the industry. I personally work in media, sports media to be exact. So I work on the technical side, the operations side. So I'm very much in tune with what cameras are, and on the broadcast level and even on the hobbyist level, mini documentarian level. I've shot some short films myself. So I love cameras. I've always loved cameras, have been in tune with what the camera space has been. I am not a brand loyalist. I started off my career on Nikon, then pivoted over to Canon, and now I'm on Sony. But I am, and obviously I have DJI cameras and even now an Insta360 camera. So if the camera is good, I will try it. I will want it. But I'm not brand, it's not a monolith over here. I am my own ecosystem. US classified DJI as a military company, though it's not. That is, I mean, that speaks to a lot of how this current regime is. Great live. Thank you. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you all for being. I had no idea how many people were going to show up here. This is still a small YouTube channel. I'm just started this channel like 2 months ago. I think maybe coming up on 3 months ago. This is my first live stream on this channel. Probably going to mix in some more live streams. I was trying to make all of this be a video, like one, like not short form, but one long form video. And every time I did it, it just didn't feel as though I was saying all the things because, you know, editing, B-roll, all that type of stuff. But I felt like, let me just go live and then I could just dump all my thoughts, and it doesn't have to be in the most structured, cohesive manner. I could just say all the stuff and get it off my chest. So that's why you have a live stream today. So I just wanted to get all my thoughts out because I felt like I couldn't really deliver it in a concise way. It would have been a hella long video, just like this was a hella long stream. And I'd rather just say it in real time and have people pull up and give me advice. Like today I learned about India and products not being available in India. Then I learned about the India having a 44% tax on it, which is insane. So like in Germany, I had my boy from Germany who pulled up and said he has both cameras, the Osmo, the 4P, and the Luna Ultra. He returned the Luna Ultra, kept the 4P, but now he misses the Luna Ultra. Like, so this is the community I want to build here in terms of us exchanging information, exchanging ideas. Now I know of all these shell companies or bootleg companies, whatever you want to classify them, third-party companies, whatever, that are offering cameras. If one of them could get a dual lens one, we might have to, to do some investigating and to do some purchasing and maybe do some exploration in trying those out. But again, I appreciate everyone that was able to pull up. This was the impromptu live stream. Maybe we'll do some more of these in the future. If you're into that type of content, go ahead and let me know. But yeah, I go by the name of the Sam D. This has been Shield Free Tech. If you want to stay, I have a little viewer count. I'm using the YOLO Box Extreme. That gives a little viewer count or a little chat recap in terms of how many people were on the chat, were in the chat, and how many messages they put in the chat. So if you want to stay through that while we exit on out, I would appreciate it. For those that are on TikTok, appreciate you over there. Don't know how many of you are actually over there because it doesn't allow me to see that yet, but hopefully we had some people over there as well. So this is Shield Free Tech. I go by the name of the Sam D. I'll catch you again real soon. I'll see y'all later.
Ao 1º de maio.